Okay, hi. So this instruction video will be talking about the new rubric for your question on the AP test. So it is a DBQ. There's one question. You have 45 minutes to write the DBQ and you have 5 minutes to upload it. You do have two options. You can handwrite it, take a picture and upload it, or you can type it. But it is only from 11 a.m. till 11:45 a.m. So pick whichever one you're better at. Are you better at typing it? Are you better at writing it? Is your writing clear enough? Make the best decision for you. If you want my honest advice, send me an email and I will tell you either to type it or to write it. But here's the new rubric. It'll be the rubric that I'm going to be using on our assignments, and it's also the rubric that the AP test is using. They change up the language a little bit because they try to make everything sound confusing. So hopefully this rubric is not confusing. Okay, so the first thing is still the same. You still earn a whole point by writing an awesome thesis. Sorry. The thesis does not just restate the question, but it has to make an argument. It has to have an adjective in there. It has to have some sort of some way that you are arguing, you are making a point, you are making a claim, and you have to back that up in your essay. So great thesis still gets a point. The next one is still the same too. You have to still explain broader historical events. You still have to bring up historical context. That's in your introduction paragraph, and it's throughout your essay, kind of telling the reader what is going on during this time. So again, you still need to know the time period pretty well. The third point you get is, this is a little different. So you get a point if you analyze two documents. So if you use two documents in your essay correctly, then you get a point. So those two documents, they support your thesis. You didn't just quote them, but you understood them and you used them and you analyzed them. You get a point. And there you go. You get another point if you use two more. So again, there's 5 documents on this DBQ. And if you use 4 documents, then boom, you get both points for analyzing documents. Okay. Fifth point that you can earn is by putting relevant outside information. So did you know something extra? It wasn't said in the documents, but you knew Frederick Douglass and you knew the North Star and you put it in there on your essay about abolition. None of the documents talked about that, but you knew it already. Add that in there to your body paragraph, make it sound awesome, make it sound eloquent, and you get that 5th point. Boom, you get a 6th point if you add another piece of outside information. Okay? Again, this is open book, open note, open internet. And so you can look up stuff if you want. You can take things if you want, but you cannot cheat. There is a little bit of a difference that I'll talk about later. But you can have your book out. You can have your notes out. So put in as much outside information as you think is necessary. Don't want a data dump, but you still want to make your point clear. Okay, 7 and 8 points are about something called sourcing, which I'm going to talk about in a different video, but you can kind of read for yourself what sourcing might be. If you source one document, if you source a second document, you get these 2 points. So I will go into it with more detail later, but please watch that video because it's super, super important. And the last point out of 9 is high-level formal writing. They know that you have your notes out. They know that you have information out. So they're not going to be very impressed when you know stuff. They will be impressed, though, if you can eloquently put that information into an essay. So you still have to write well. You have thesaurus online to increase your vocabulary. You still have to put it in a coherent essay that all ties back to the thesis and the prompt. Okay, so I'll be using this rubric. I'll be using this rubric, and the AP test is going to be using this rubric. So I hope this rubric makes sense. Please email me if anything is confusing. Okay.